What's going on, guys? It's your boy K-Star here, back at it again with another action figure unboxing review. Today we're going to be doing the highly anticipated 1.5 version Jotaro Kujo Super Action Statue by Medicos from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Part 3 Stardust Crusaders, requested by Yeet and probably many others. So this is a very popular figure. I wasn't going to get him, but I thought I'll grab him anyway, seeing as the re-release was back in stock, and lo and behold, it's sold out in like 2 days, so I'm glad I picked him up. But before we get started, can I ask you to smash that like button, hit that notifications bell, and subscribe, share with a friend, all that stuff that you don't want to hear, because I'm going to go into rant mode a bit now. YouTube are still removing views from our videos. I don't know why. I don't know why they find it funny or good to do that, but I know we're a small channel, but for some reason, if we get over 150 views in 1 or 2 days, because we're a small channel, if we do that and you guys take the time to watch our videos, YouTube automatically think it's spam or troll or something, so they remove views off the videos. The latest review, one I enjoyed very greatly, the Gojo one, it got about, I'd say 185 or 200 views at one point in a few days. And then I've looked on there today to check the stats to see what you guys like, and it's down to 92 views. So they've over half the views on it. So they've took over 100 views off our video, and I have no idea why. So YouTube, I don't know why you're doing that to us. These guys are taking the time to watch our videos, and I actually can't get an honest view count, an audience, and an average audience for this channel, because YouTube keep doing that, and it's really annoying. And if it carries on, we're just going to end up not doing reviews anymore, and we're going to stop, which will be really unfortunate. So sorry about that rant over, guys. But yeah, it's just annoying and disappointing when we take the time to do these reviews, and you guys take your time, like over 200 people coming to watch the reviews, and YouTube are automatically halving that and demonetizing or taking views away. I don't know why, but it's really getting to me at the minute. But anyway, we'll get straight into the review. So we've got our random item of the day, and today it's a Iwako eraser. So it's a nice Japanese style eraser with a thank you. Basically the company where we bought this from, the Japan Hobby Store over in Tokyo, they sometimes include a random little extra for you to say thank you for purchasing, so that's really nice of them. So what we'll do, as always, boring stuff, we'll get into the front of the box. We've got version 5 Jotaro Kujo 1.5 Japanese shebang. You've got the window display with Jotaro looking awesome there in the front, pristine box. You've got the side with JoJo and some art of the figure right there and some nice gold writing. You've got the back with 4 different poses Jotaro can do, all his hands and accessories, his faces, his stand, etc. and the Medicos seal of approval to make sure it's official. You've got the other side, nothing really there. You've got the bottom, Japanese shebang terms and conditions as always. And you've got the top with JoJo's Super Action Medicos blah 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 version 1.5, which looks absolutely good. So I'll get back to you in 1 second, guys, and we'll get him unboxed. So here we are, guys, at the box. We've got Jotaro Kujo looking absolutely awesome. I have to say, this is probably the tightest and stiffest Super Action statue that I've ever had in my entire collection, which is on the one hand it's great, but on the other hand it's really dangerous, because it could also break easily. So I'm going to be very careful in this review, so we'll go into some paint and detail. So to start with, you've got Jotaro's cap at the top, looking pretty cool. The only disappointment for me is it seems like they've done a shabby job on the paint job, which usually doesn't happen with Super Action statue. You can make out the fist emblem, but it just doesn't look as good quality for some reason. Maybe because this is an older figure and it's a revamp. You can see his earrings there, his golden earring, but for some reason the head paint job, it's a bit meh compared to most of the action statues. I may be nitpicking because I prefer the part 4 white version, but on the hat, not so good. But as you can see, his eyes and his face looks absolutely awesome. They've got everything down to a T there, so you can see his blue eyes, just about, his bluish silver eyes, if my hand wants to stop shaking, and his eyebrows painted absolutely perfectly. I did think his face had a bit too much of a light sheen on it when I first looked at it in the box, but now I'm looking at it, nope, the skin tone's fine. It reflects the sun perfectly, and his skin tone on his neck, it's a bit darker. That makes perfect sense. You got his nice golden chain there, signature golden chain, which is a separate piece, which is nice. You got his 80s punk jacket, looking pretty good, not a blemish in sight. Let's go to the back. Nope, not a blemish, just a black jacket. His grey shirt with shading, looking great, and the golden part in the middle. Not a blemish there, so you can't complain. We go down, there's nothing much on the arms, just a bit of shading, a bit of creases, and then obviously those golden buttons there and on the side, so all the details where needed. Not too bad. Then you got his belt. I can't remember what brand that is, but I know that it was a famous brand of belt that he wore, and they did a collab with the anime. So you got a nice pattern there, like the triangle patterns on the belt. Not too shabby at all. Some more shading, some more creases in the jeans to make it look very realistic, which I always like on these figures. Absolutely awesome. Not too shabby at all. And then again, you got the underlay of his jacket, just a beige, nothing too good there. Skin tone, everything normal for Jotaro. You're not going to have, he's not a really complex looking character, as you know yourself. He wears his trouser legs a bit higher, and then you can see his ankles there with his skin tone, not too bad. And the loafers looking absolutely awesome, just black loafers, because he's a simple guy. And that's all we got really for our boy Jotaro. He's a fan favourite character, everyone loves him from Stardust. You can watch it on Netflix all the way through. And yeah, there's not much else to say about him in terms of paint and detail. He looks like Jotaro. He's a punk from like the 80s in Japan, a badass, and he will kick your ass if you get on his bad side, so we can't go wrong. But now comes the part where I'm very worried about the articulation. So this is going to take a while because he is so stiff, and I don't think I've ever experienced a figure as stiff as this in my entire unboxing life or my collecting. So this is going to be very fun. So you'll have to bear with me on this one, guys, because I do not want to break him, and he looks very breakable. So if you bear with me 1 second. Right guys, sorry about that, we're back. So I had a little play around with him, and it is really the stiffest, most unarticulated figure going. So if you get this guy, it will be purely for the paint and detail, the sculpt, and to have Jotaro in your collection, because he does not articulate hardly at all, which is a bit crazy if I'm quite honest. But for me it doesn't really matter because I'm not articulation mad, but for you guys it just might. So we'll start with the head. You can do a left, right, all the way around if you really want to, but I wouldn't recommend it because that ball joint is very thin. You can look down about that much, and you can only look up. You can't even look up. Jotaro doesn't look up anyway, he's always looking down on his opponents. So that's it. The neck, for this one, I don't know if this is a manufacture error for the re-release in 2021, but that neck to me looks as though it can move. I did remove the head, and you cannot move it at all. It's glued and stuck to the figure, so you cannot move the neck. That might be an error, so I'm not sure. I might have to get some hot water on it and have a fiddle, but I wouldn't recommend it if I were you, because it just doesn't look like it moves. I've tried, I've used tweezers, and I don't want to wreck the paint. So a bit disappointing for the neck, but Jotaro doesn't do much neck action anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's not a major. Arms quite good, you can get to 90. As always, you can rotate, bicep swivel all the way around if you really want to. You can do that. You can do an elbow attack, not too bad, and up. You can flex and show your muscles. Not too bad at the arms. Got a nasty defect there, unfortunately, that I didn't notice before, so I'm going to have to sand that down with a bit of sandpaper or a file. So not good there, quality control wise. Yeah, so ball joint at the elbow. You can twist that as well if you really want to, but be careful because that will pop out. And you can do a wrist and hand all the way around if that floats your boat and really want to. And the same for this arm. So not too bad for the arms, that's the highlight of the figure. The chest, you can arch, so you can do like an arch, quite good, like a crunch, ab crunch, and you can go back but not very far. And then you can rotate, you can swivel to do some cool dance moves, BTS if you really want to. So not too bad. I don't think you get a waist swivel. Oh, you might do, I'm not quite sure. I can't tell from there, it looks like it's sculpted in, but regardless you don't need it because you've got this, so not too bad. And the legs are where it gets terrible. So I don't know what they've done here. I don't know if the original, someone will have to clarify with me if the original could part the legs. But you cannot part the legs on this. I don't know what they've done here. So as you can see, you can't see where the ball joints are. And I don't want to snap it or extend it very far. You just can't move the leg. I don't know what the case is. I don't know if I need to get some hot water on the go. But there doesn't seem a way to get the legs more than that. So I don't know, I might be just being too pernickety and delicate with my figure, but that's terrible. I don't know, you're spending like 55 bucks on a figure and it feels really loose as well. So on the one side it's stiff, on the other hand it feels like it's going to fall apart. So I'm a bit disappointed with that. I can't deny, I really am. So you can't really do your kicks or anything crazy. You're not going in with Jotaro anyway, but I just find it really strange that you can't even put the legs backwards and forwards. That's never happened on a figure. I don't know. So, or you can't, like, that's as far as you can get. You can just get it sideways. There seems to be a joint there where you can go side, but you can't get forward, which is really weird, to be honest. So I don't understand that at all. Like, on one hand it seems too loose, on the other hand it's far too stiff, and it's a big disappointment, to be honest, because this figure is a good one and a lot of people love it. So I don't know if it's just bad engineering. If it was on the original, you'll have to, anyone who's got the original release, please let me know, because I'm curious to find out if it's the same for all releases. But I don't suppose you can stand up very well. Nope, not at all, because of these strangely engineered legs. So just quite a big disappointment, to be honest. He can just about stand up there, but he doesn't look very Jotaro-like. Just looks weird. But yeah, sculpt and painting details alright, but that articulation's terrible. Anyway, enough moaning. Sorry about that. You can arch this. It's kind of like a frilly blowing in the wind ball joint there to give you that extra bend if you want to. I'm not a fan. I prefer it if it was normal, like straight, like the white version. I don't see the frilly dress shape there. It would be nice if it was just straight and to the point. I think that ruins the aesthetic of the figure of a badass. And then finally, if you do manage to get your legs rotated or doing something, you do actually get a bend further than 90 at the knee, which is not too bad. And you can rotate left and right slightly if you want to, and then you do get ankle rocker, side to side, and a toe pivot. So that's not too bad, I guess. You can't argue with that. But yeah, at the legs, pretty disappointing, to be honest, that you can't really do much. You just have him standing there, do a badass pose. There's not really much else you can do, and he feels so stiff that you don't want to do anything with him. He just feels like he's going to break, unfortunately. But as you know, we can't ask for everything, and yeah, sometimes that stuff happens in these reviews. So we'll get quickly into accessories before we wrap up. So as you know, with JoJo's Super action statues, you always get a display stand, which you're going to need for this one because he doesn't stand up. So you're going to need that. You get some words when he's doing his attack, so we all know about that. You get an instruction manual, which you're probably going to need. Oh, and if you look on the instruction manual, it says X on the neck. So the neck doesn't actually swivel, so there we go. So that's answered that question for us. So it's always good to use the instructions sometimes if you're unsure. You get 2 extra trouser pieces. So just like on the white version, there's a hand where you can put his hand in his pockets, and you can replace these. Let me just see if I can show you. So you can take those off and replace them with open pocket ones and put his hands in, which is a nice effect. I'm not going to do it because there's no need, but you can kind of put a hand on him and have him with his hands in his pockets like that if you put the other trousers on, which probably looks way cooler actually. So that might be an idea if that floats your boat, so we can't complain with that. And then let's see if we can do this without all the hands falling out. I'm not going to get them all out because they're just the basic hands that you get in these figures. So you get, as you can see, You get grabbing hands, more grabbing hands, posing hands, the hands in pocket hands that are cut off. You get stop where you are, guard hands, or high five hands. You get a holding something hand, like a grabbing finger hand, as you can see there. And you get his iconic star platinum pointing fingers, as always you get with Jotaro, which you can't complain with. And you get another pointing finger for the other hand, and another gripping hand, which isn't too bad. And then finally, the thing that you might be or might not be most looking forward to is the other head, which I really like on this one. It's like a smirk. Like, I really like that face. So he's like, yeah, I'm gonna beat your ass, and I'm smirking at the same time, which is pretty cool. I like that. And the hat again, the paint job's a bit better, as you can see on this hat. But if you look at the quality control, there's a big fat dent there, which, so old figure, re-release, you're not going to have the best quality control, unfortunately. And that's it for this one, really, guys. I've not got much else to say. I can do a quick size comparison, but that's really it, to be honest. So if you like Jotaro Kujo and you like Stardust Crusaders Part 3, then you're going to get this if you can find it. You don't really want to be paying more than 60 bucks if I were you, because the quality control is just terrible, I have to say. It looks amazing, it looks like Jotaro, it looks badass, it looks like him from Part 3, and he's badass. So from just looking, it looks lovely, like, I like it. But for you guys that like articulation and things from the other figure, like the Gojo, the Amazing Yamaguchi, all that stuff, this won't be for you. It's a super action statue. It's not for action as much, it's more just for having in your collection and to be a statue on the shelf. So if that's more your thing, just keeping him in one pose, then that's nice. So what we'll do before we wrap up, just a quick comparison. So he stands probably about 6 inches tall. So we're going to bring down the usual guy for comparisons. So we've got our Figma Genos, who also doesn't stand very well. So that's him looking awesome, and Genos is shorter. We've got our SH Figuarts Vegeta, who should be shorter than 6 inches, but his hair makes him a bit taller. So yeah, so that's Vegeta looking hench there, not too bad. We'll move him to the side, and then finally, because Gojo's in the display case, we're whacking a Yuji Itadori in Sakuna form, which isn't too bad. I think those two scale pretty well together. I like that. Yeah, Gojo would tower over Jotaro, which is interesting because Jotaro is usually a tall guy. So super action statues don't scale amazingly with SH Figuarts, if you were wondering. But if you want a bunch of anime characters in your collection, these are the best for Dragon Ball and most anime SH Figuarts. For JoJo's especially, you want to get super action statue. So that's all for this one, guys. Thank you very much for your time. Thanks for watching, as always. Please smash that like button, notifications bell, share with a friend, subscribe, all that boring stuff that you don't want to hear, to get the algorithm going, and tell YouTube, no, this isn't spam. People are actually taking the time to watch my videos, and to tell YouTube to stop removing the views off my videos, because it really lets us down and disappoints us. You guys who do take the time to watch are amazing. We love you. So keep that up if you can. That would be absolutely awesome. Please keep doing what you're doing and keep coming to the videos. Take the time to watch, because it makes me happy knowing that you guys enjoy the content, and the disappointment is slightly less when YouTube do some crazy stuff and remove the views. So yeah, thank you very much for watching again, guys. Thanks for your time. Drink all your water, stay safe, keep yourself occupied, buy cool stuff to keep your mind occupied in lockdown, watch cool animes, you know, all that shebang. And yeah, stay safe and keep collecting.